Regarding typical writing routines, my younger self would probably really freak out to know that I fling myself out of bed as early as 4 or 5, almost every day to do my writing. I figured out by a lot of misery that the only time I really have a grip on my words is first thing in the morning. And if I don't grab it and work it right then it's like the complexities get too complex as soon as the day gets interrupted by other input, or like my mind gets smaller during the day and my vocabulary gets less accessible. And in the morning, I write really great sentences. I can hold all the global elements of a piece of writing in play. I'm just like brilliant. In the afternoon, I write like a lunkhead. So instead, I just like draw or do some research or edit photos, and watch Jazz Age detective films. I also nap. And process-wise, I'm getting better at liquidating words that don't work very well. By that, I mean revision. And in poetry, I've always been able to change words around, but it's been really hard to change form, like a line or a stanza. Once I've got it kind of worked over for a while, it feels like it just needs to stay there, but I'm getting better at that. And in fiction and nonfiction, sometimes it seems like it's hard to change like anything, because the way that I've written it in the beginning, the prose is really tightly knit and everything leads to everything else. So any change that I make just yanks the whole thing apart and ruins it. So it's just true that that's what you have to do, though. Writing is hard, and I'm getting better at that. The thing I can definitely count on is one of the more mechanical things, and that is that I can only go so far on screen. And like in terms of workspace, I'm working on a laptop here, but I've got my big screen here. So usually I'm composing on the big screen, sometimes just like leaning back and chilling and having a grand old time staring at the big screen. But I can only go so far on there before it's like it just grinds to a halt, and then I print everything and I work by hand for a while. And then the exact same thing happens, that I can only go so far before I need to transfer all of the manual changes that I make to the computer. Like this. This is only the title page, and I have changed it a million times. This is draft number 11 of the novel that I'm working on, and it's not quite marked up enough yet to come back to the computer, but as soon as it's all marked up, then I'll be back on the computer, and then it's really going to be finished. I mean, really, this time, I'm not just joking. But what happens there is that I make additions, deletions, I draw arrows, I highlight things, I do an alphanumeric coding about this needs to go to that page. On page 26 needs to go to page 174, and it's really cool, but it gets really tangled up after a while. So every now and then I kind of have to go to the computer to do a paragraph or something, or a couple of pages, and print them fresh and start again. And once I go back to the screen, then it's just the screen, then it's just a process of combing everything out, and making it happen. So this is the computer desk, and over there is my beautiful standing desk. Right there with the light. And I found that's very good for the health and for the general kind of, like bone density and stuff like that. And I get a lot of handwriting done up there, as well as drawing. So, hey, that's how I do it.